Hello and welcome back to Quito. Today is sadly our final day in Ecuador, but we have a lot of fun and exciting things planned for today, and we're gonna make the most of it.
Yeah, so we actually only had one other place that we wanted to go to in Ecuador, and that was the Galapagos. But unfortunately, during this season of life, it is just a little bit too expensive for our budget, so we're just gonna have to come back someday and do that another time. But we do have some exciting things still planned for today, so let's head on out. So before we head out to our main activity for the day, we're gonna go to the Central Market and grab some lunch because we are both so hungry. We got something that we first tried when we came to Quito for the first time, and I loved it so much. I got some more, but this time I believe it comes with the yapingacho, which is those little cheesy potato cakes, and then we also got a mystery fruit drink. We have relocated and we are going to get the encebollado, the national dish, and it's come with the popcorn and the plantain chips.
I think this is the move.
Looks so good.
So we just finished up lunch and it was incredible, but now we are walking to this hot chocolate place to hopefully try a cup of delicious Ecuadorian hot chocolate. So we just made our selections on what we wanted to get. So we got some ice cream as well as a hot chocolate. And Ecuador is known for their extremely high quality chocolate. Apparently 5% of the chocolate in the world is a specific level of quality, and Ecuador accounts for 65% of that 5%, which is really interesting. So that is why we have come to try this chocolate.
We have gotten their hot chocolate and they have outstanding reviews for this, so I'm so excited to try this. And then we were sampling their ice creams and it literally tasted like the cacao ice cream that we had at Central. So we were like, we have to get 2 scoops of this. So 2 scoops of ice cream, hot chocolate, and we're gonna have a little chocolate feast. Chad has been nagging me for like a week to come and drink this hot chocolate. So I'm gonna let him do the taste test and let's see if all the nagging really paid off.
I have literally been wanting to try this for so long. What I love is that it's not overly sweet and it just allows the chocolate to just sit on your tongue, but it's also not overly dark and bitter. It's like that perfect middle ground, and it's everything you'd want a hot chocolate to be, so it's definitely meeting my expectations.
I don't think Chad can be any happier. Never seen him giggle so much. Chad is just having a chocolate fiesta over there.
It's so good.
So they just brought out a little sample of their fruit covered in chocolate for us to try, and that's so sweet. And I'm gonna give it a taste. I don't know what fruit's inside.
Watch it be kiwi.
I can't tell what fruit it is, but it is good. I think it's pineapple.
I also think that it is pineapple.
We just signed their guest book. If you come here, you can come find our little note. So now that we are all full of chocolate, we are gonna go see the middle of the world. So as many of you all may know, Ecuador gets its name from the equator. So the country is situated in the northern hemisphere as well as the southern hemisphere. So behind me is the Mitad del Mundo, which is a monument that was constructed in 1979, and it is supposed to be on the equator line, but as years progressed and technology advanced, they actually found out that it is way off and it is not on the exact equator line. And so nonetheless, it is a very cool monument, and it only costs $5 per person to go check it out. But we found a much cooler museum that is actually much closer to the equator line that offers a lot of different experiences places that you can only do in the middle of the world. So we were gonna go there instead, but we did want to check out the monument.
There it is.
Zero, zero, zero.
So I have a little bit of history for you guys. So apparently this statue is part of the indigenous community here. As a way to revolt against the Spanish coming, they created this devil god that they would worship. And apparently he is like good and bad at the same time, and he's also like represents leadership. But I really love the design, and we are on the lookout for an ornament that kind of resembles him. Yeah.
So to enter this place, it's only $4 per person, which is actually cheaper than the Mitad del Mundo. And now we're gonna spend the day doing all sorts of wild experiments, and I'm really excited to give them a try.
And another thing I want to note is that this entire place is like a garden. They have all these statues, and it's really magical. There's a lot of birds as well.
So we just learned about how the indigenous people of the rainforest would shrink heads of their enemies, and they would either wear it around their neck as a little pendant, or they would put it on a staff and walk around with a shrunken head. And so let me tell you this process in case you want to know how they shrunk heads. So behind me I have very beautiful pictures that will help me explain this process. First off, they will chop the head off. Second up, they remove the skull from the head, and then they will only have the skin of the face, I guess. Third, they will boil the head for 3 days in some mystery herbs. Fourth, they will sew the mouth shut because they want to keep the bad soul of the person inside of the face so that it won't escape or anything like that. And then they will put a rock inside of that little face skin so that it will hold its shape. And then lastly, they will wear it around their neck or put it on a pole and walk around with it. So this right here is a real life shrunken head. It was a little boy, and they have shrunken his head down to that size. And apparently if like I were to shrink my head, it'd be the size of my fist. So it'd actually be pretty small shrunken head.
Mine would be bigger.
Yeah, Chad's would be a little bit bigger. And then also that is a sloth head that has been shrunken.
Oh my gosh, we just learned about these shrunken heads. And honestly, if Claire were to wear my shrunken head if I died early, I wouldn't really mind.
A little pendant right here.
So we just learned a lot of history about the animals in the rainforest, as well as the indigenous people there, and how they make chocolate, because Ecuador is known for their high quality chocolate, not just any kind of chocolate, but the high quality kind. But now we are going to learn about the equator and do a lot of fun experiments. So we just did an experiment with water that showcased the Coriolis effect, and it was really cool to see because when you're on the equator, the water actually falls straight down. So you know when you're flushing the toilet and you're in the northern hemisphere, it actually will go counterclockwise, which they were able to show, and you can see the leaves spinning around. And then when you are in the southern hemisphere, apparently the water will spin clockwise, which is just really awesome. I didn't realize that it would do that.
So we were about to balance an egg on a nail, which sounds insane, but apparently it is very easy to do on the equator line, and that is because the yolk inside of the egg will be brought down perfectly straight with the gravity on the equator. And let's give it a shot. So I'm going to try to balance an egg on the equator line, and let's see how fast I can do it.
Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
In front of all of the rules.
Yay!
But it is coming straight to the equator. Okay?
Nice.
Easier because
All right, Chad, it's your turn.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, it is off. Yay!
Wow, you did it so
that was
quick.
fast.
Well
Nice.
done.
That's so fun.
Nice.
And
Shut your eyes and put your head
I
back.
think I just have to. I can't even do that. Okay.
Head up.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Head up, up. There you go.
Wait, is it just normally that hard, or that's so hard?
Yes, right?
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
You look.
So wild.
So we just walked on the equator line and it was crazy how difficult it was.
Yeah.
Because basically you have your eyes shut, you're looking up, and you're being pulled by the northern and southern hemispheres.
Yeah.
And the effect is so much more than normal.
Yeah, because I usually have pretty good balance, I'd like to say, and I could not, like, I could barely even stand up straight with my arms out and my head back. Like, I don't know what was going on. Obviously, the forces were just tearing me to both sides, but that was extremely difficult.
And I want to add that there's so much science behind this place.
Yeah.
And I just want to do way more research because it's honestly incredible. Yeah, one of my favorite things that I learned was that you can actually see like all the constellations here because we're at a higher point. So in the northern hemisphere, you can see the Big Dipper, and in the southern, it is the Southern Cross. So you can see them both from right here.
And then you can also see Orion's belt. So all the constellations in one spot. This is wild.
1, 2, 3. You get it. And now yours. Voila.
So what is this for, Claire?
So we have certificates for balancing the egg on the equator line.
Yay!
We've graduated. So now that the tour is over, we're gonna look around for an ornament for Ecuador.
Guys, we got our ornament for Ecuador, and it's so colorful. It is the indigenous god.
Yes,
that we were talking
Diablo Uma.
about. Yeah. So Diablo has two sides.
Two faces.
And so the back face is apparently supposed to represent turning their back to the Spanish ways. So we really enjoy it. It's so colorful.
And it's special to Ecuador, and that's why we got it. And I'm really excited to just put a little string on these little ears it's got and hang it on our Christmas tree. So I first wanted to show you all three of our ornaments together because I just always think that's really cool. So Ecuador, Peru in the middle, and Colombia. We're gonna have such a big collection at the end.
You know, it's honestly a lot.
So to conclude this video, we picked up some pitahaya from the market today because it was one of my favorite foods here that we tried. And we're gonna eat these while talking about our favorite moments in Ecuador. So my favorite part in Ecuador was riding the swings and also the open air cable car in Baños. I am a huge lover of the feeling of flying, and so like being able to partake in that feeling in Baños was so amazing, and it just felt really freeing, and I felt so happy swinging and just flying across the valley. It was so memorable and I loved it.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was hiking the waterfall. What was it? Pylon del Diablo? Am I saying that right? Yeah, so visiting the waterfall was honestly incredible. It's so much bigger in person, and crawling through that tunnel just made me feel like a kid again. It was just so fun. I don't know, it just felt like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking about anything other than that experience while we were doing it. And I feel like that's the best times in life is when you're just fully focused on what you're doing and you're very present. So I really enjoyed that.
For sure. So obviously we loved Baños. If you didn't see our Baños video, definitely check it out. But if you come to Ecuador, you can't skip out on that place. It's amazing. And with that, our time in Ecuador has come to an end, and we are moving to our 4th country out of 50 in the next video. So if you want to guess where we're going next, definitely leave your guess in the comments below. We want to see where you guys think we're going. And if you want to follow along our adventure to 50 countries, definitely hit subscribe. We'd love to have you along on the adventure. And with that, until next time, bye guys.